Now 8 o'clock, police have found the man accused of stabbing someone at a grocery store. We have the latest in the investigation. Plus, Portland is entering 2026, still addressing one of its biggest challenges, homelessness. Ahead, how conditions are improving and why some say it's not enough. And the Oregon Ducks are making program history as they head to the Peach Bowl. Next, how Ducks are clinching their Orange Bowl win. Good morning and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green. Chris McGinnis is here for a look at your weather and traffic.
Cloudy and rainy to start off the morning. Light rain, but rain nonetheless. This is a live look from our state capitol in Salem. You can see the Capitol Mall is, wet, a little drippy out there. 43 last check in Salem. We'll switch gears and take you to our Wells Fargo sky camera. The camera here atop the Wells Fargo building in downtown Portland. So it's kind of up in that low cloud deck. So it looks a little foggier than maybe it actually is out there. But the point is it's drippy. It's 41 at the airport. Here's a look at radar. Again, a little smattering of green on the map. We've been in and out of generally light rain throughout much of the morning. There are some signs that we will shut that off at least temporarily a little bit later on this morning. So maybe we get some dry time. I wanted to show you this as well. This is an ODOT traffic cam out in the Upper Hood River Valley, Parkdale area, Highway 35. This part of the region still under a winter weather advisory for an ongoing slight threat for some freezing rain. We've had temperatures coming up in the last little while. And in fact, the last check out towards the Dalles right now, you're up to 33. Most of the reporting sites in Hood River County are generally right at or above freezing. One or two slick spots, though, still possible this morning. All right, here in the metro area, again, lots of clouds on and off, light rain, and notably warmer than yesterday. We should top out in the low 50s this afternoon. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads, and we start off with, where is that? That's I-5 up near Lombard. I had to look for a second there, looking really hard. The roads obviously are wet this morning. Lots of road spray out there, but no major freeway trouble. You can see traffic is still zipping right along just fine. China?
Thank you, Chris. And as we kick off 2026, the city of Portland continues to try to address one of its biggest challenges, homelessness. And many people living on the street are looking to improve their conditions too. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from downtown Portland with more on this. Thomas?
Hey, good morning, China. Yeah, look, all across town, it's not hard to find tents or people living on the streets. Many of those people, of course, are trying to get their lives back on track. The city of Portland is trying to help them out, too. Mayor Keith Wilson in 2025 opened more shelter beds, meeting a goal of 1,500 additional overnight shelter beds to address this crisis. And while some people, like a man who goes by the name Big Unc Williams, don't use the shelters, he does say it's good that there's more of them.
I don't hang out in the shelters because to me, I don't feel safe. But they are beautiful. My hat goes off to Portland. Portland is one of the realest cities.
We spoke to another man named Jeremiah Rodman who isn't homeless but spent New Year's Day looking for his brother Michael. He says Michael is addicted to fentanyl and is a shell of the man he once was. Last year, Rodman found Michael in this tent, sick and suffering from gangrene. He took him to the hospital to get help. Rodman says Michael has been arrested and released multiple times without ever seeking treatment for his addiction, and he doesn't think his brother's case is exceptional.
I think coming down on drugs and criminalizing it more and being a little more harsher on that, I think that can help. You got food shelters and banks over here. So what's the real answer to helping them? I don't think just giving and giving and giving. I think that there has to be another solution.
And look, over the next couple of months, we expect those temperatures to continue to dip down as we reach the worst of the winter conditions here in Portland. The city and the county say that this year they're going to have emergency overnight shelters open 24/7 when those conditions are at their severest and the most cold. That's a change from years past. China?
Thank you, Thomas. Portland police have identified the person accused of stabbing someone at a southeast Portland Safeway. Portland police say at around 10 a.m. yesterday morning, 51-year-old Christopher Woods stabbed and robbed a 77-year-old man in the bathroom of a Safeway store on 122nd. The victim was taken to the hospital. Their current condition is unknown. Woods faces felony assault and robbery charges. State police in New Hampshire say a Beaverton man is dead after a truck hit him on this historic bridge between New Hampshire and Vermont. Troopers say in early December, 52-year-old Michael Iwanchuk was hit while walking on the Cornish-Windsor covered bridge, which was built in 1886 and is one of the longest covered bridges in the country. He died at the hospital on Monday. The truck driver remained on scene. So far, no charges have been filed. Deputies in Washington County caught a 18-year-old and 3 juveniles after they allegedly broke into cars in the Bethany area. It happened late Tuesday night along Northwest Country Ridge Drive. Investigators say when deputies spotted the 4 of them in the car, they jumped out and took off. K-9 was called and helped them find him. The 18-year-old faces charges of reckless driving and attempting to elude. Portland police have arrested a man accused of stabbing 2 people on Christmas Eve. 54-year-old Richard Stewart is now facing 2 counts of attempted murder. Police say Stewart first stabbed a 20-year-old in the neck near the Hollywood Fred Meyer, then stabbed a 67-year-old in the neck and head less than a mile away. Both are out of the hospital. The cases are under investigation. Local nonprofits are working towards a better 2026 when it comes to making sure people struggling financially have enough to eat. Over at the Brighton building in Northeast Portland, home to former homeless veterans, staff from New Narrative are restocking the basement food pantry with help from nearby churches.
I feel like they want to give more than they take. And so if we can help in any way to ease some of that burden of the stress of asking, then that's something that we would like to do.
Veterans living at the building say they're not the type to take more than they need, but with the recent delays in SNAP benefits, they certainly appreciate all the local support. These kittens are among the 12,000 animals with a new home thanks to the Oregon Humane Society. OHS says 2025 was a record-breaking year for adoptions. Stevie was the kitten, the last adoption from the Portland campus, and Macaroni was the last animal adopted from Salem. Both campuses are back open today and are ready for more adoptions. Already making Oregon sports history in 2026, the Ducks bringing home the win in their first ever Orange Bowl appearance. While they were probably nice and warm down in Miami, back home Ducks fans were out in full force at Grand Central Bowl in Southeast Portland. They reflected on a mostly fantastic season and looked ahead to making it to another round of the college football playoffs.
I think it's been good. I think besides maybe the game to Indiana, which was maybe our worst loss, but everything else has been really good. You know, I'm really proud of this team, and I'm excited for how far we've come.
Fans say that they think the Ducks learned from their Rose Bowl loss last year and were more ready this time. KGW will be following the Ducks all the way to Atlanta for the Peach Bowl next Friday. Look for live reports next week on air and here on our free TV streaming app, KGW+. 2026 is shaping up to be a big year for sports with some of the biggest events of the decade airing right here on KGW. NBC's Maria Taylor and Steve Kornacki have everything you need to know to plan ahead for this year's big sporting events.
It has been a busy 2025, but now it is time to look ahead because NBC's lineup in 2026 is gearing up to be fascinating and absolutely historic, and nowhere will that be more evident than in the world of sports. So NBC will bring you some of the biggest sporting events ever, from Super Bowl 60 to the World Cup and more. To help me break all of that action down, we bring in Steve Kornacki and, of course, the big board. Steve, shall we start with legendary February?
Yeah, Maria. I mean, I don't know about you. February is the shortest month on the calendar. It always feels the longest to me in the dead of winter. It's going to feel a little different in 2026. We're going to start Friday, February 6th. That's going to be the opening ceremonies for the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. And while we're still absorbing all of that excitement, 48 hours later, we got Super Sunday, the Super Bowl 60 in the Bay Area, and they're still going to be giving out medals in Italy when a week later, on Sunday, February 15th, the All-Star Game, the NBA All-Star Game, different format this year, kind of Olympic-themed, USA versus the world.
Yeah, it's following after the Milan Cortina Olympics. I love the idea. Let's get into the summer, though. There's plenty going on to start the year, but we're going to finish it well, too.
Well, July 4th, of course, marks the semi-quincentennial. I looked this one up. That's the 250th birthday of the United States of America. We are going to be televising. These are the tall ships. It's the biggest ever flotilla of tall ships coming into New York Harbor. Lady Liberty looking on my favorite tall ship, by the way, the Amerigo Vespucci from Italy.
That's my favorite too, Steve.
I think we both know one. It sounds like to continue celebrating America's birthday, July 5th, a Sunday. The national pastime baseball's back on NBC. Every MLB game that day going to be on NBC or Peacock. And What else? What other big events going on in July?
No big deal. Something called the
World Cup. The
Yes.
U.S., Canada, Mexico are hosting July 19th. MetLife Stadium near New York will be the final. Big expectations for the good old USA in this one. Paraguay, Australia, the other teams in Group D. One European team. We still have to find out who it is, but the expectations are so high that one of the players for the U.S. says the goal is the semifinals. If the U.S. gets there, that's the deepest they've gone since 1930.
And that was the inaugural World Cup, Steve. So we'll see if they can pull it off this year. Thank you so much for breaking it down. And we hope you are looking forward to 2026 in the world of sports.
All right, headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at weather.
All right, let's get you out the door. And China, it's drippy out there as it has been all morning. This is a live look from our Springs at the Waterfront camera along Vancouver's waterfront. You can see the interstate bridge there off in the distance. It's foggy, it's drippy, it's drizzly. The rain that we've had this morning has not been overly heavy, but certainly enough to make the road and the commute for those that are commuting this morning maybe just a smidge slower than usual. 41 last check at Pearson Airfield. This camera is up in the low cloud deck atop the Wells Fargo building. 41 last check at PDX. And last but not least, down to our state capital in Salem, it's 43 degrees. Currently reporting dry conditions. As in no rain being reported at the airport in Salem, but certainly the sky is hanging low there, so there's probably a few drips and drizzle spots out there. All right, statewide, chilly east side, but not as cold as you've been the last couple of days. And important to note that the gorge is thawing out after that freezing rain threat yesterday. Most of that region has cleared of that, with the exception of the upper Hood River Valley up around the Parkdale area. We still have a few temperature readings right around freezing. So what is falling is in some cases still putting a little bit of a glaze on the roadways there along Highway 35. Again, that's up around Parkdale and Odell. All right, the rest of us just drippy and wet out there this morning. This is a look at radar over the last 3 hours. We get a break in the rain, and then we get more rain, and then we get a break, and then we get more. And that's what Futurecast bears out for the remainder of today. Maybe a few hours of steadier, widespread rain late morning into the early afternoon. None of this will be terribly heavy, though. We're looking at maybe on the order of several hundredths of an inch at worst. Tomorrow's system is going to be pretty wet, maybe on the order of about a quarter of an inch of rain there. Not only that, but it could turn pretty breezy overnight Saturday into early Sunday. Temperatures do moderate a little bit as well. We were only 41 yesterday. Today, 53, 55 on Saturday, 51 on Sunday. Okay, let's get a look at the roads. As we mentioned, upper Hood River Valley, that's actually in the upper left-hand part of your screen. That's Highway 35 near Parkdale. And I think if you look closely there, like, for instance, some of the fir trees off in the distance, you get a feel for maybe the icing that's happening in that part of the state. Again, it's somewhat confined now to just that area, but with temperatures right near freezing, there could still be some slick spots out there. Otherwise, the drive this morning, it's wet in the metro area, but you know what? We're zipping along just fine. You can see also very, very light freeway volume this morning. China?
Thank you, Chris. The new year is meant to be a time full of new beginnings, and some families spent the midnight hour welcoming in just that.
President Trump is hitting back at speculation over his health and notably his age, which is something that we know plagued his predecessor during his term in office as well.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The New Year is often marked by highlighting New Year's babies. Little Ilani is believed to be the first baby born in 2026 in Washington. She was born in St. Francis Birth Center in Federal Way, 20 miles south of Seattle. Her mom, Nancy, says that she was actually hoping the baby would be born in 2025, but she came just seconds after midnight.
We didn't want it a New Year's baby. We were trying to get her in before the 31st, but it was like 15 seconds late. I'm very happy to have my baby. Yeah. It's like something I can't explain.
Her due date was originally the day after Christmas. And when it comes to the first baby in Oregon, that's unclear. The only hospital system that got back to us with information was Providence, saying a little one was born at Providence St. Vincent at 12:46 a.m. On New Year's Day, Oregon State Park Rangers held first day hikes at 25 parks around the state. The guided hikes have become a nationwide program to encourage people to kick off the new year outside, no matter the weather. We went to the gorge and found a ranger, as well as some hikers enjoying a stroll on the rainy New Year's Day.
We just recently moved to Portland, and to be able to come out here and enjoy nature at this capacity every weekend, it's like being on vacation. It's just Oregon's so beautiful, and we're just so grateful.
We've led a hike up to Lateral Falls, where we get to take a look at the unique flora and fauna that still flourishes here in the gorge environment during the winter. So we've been taking a look at snowberry, sword fern, our state tree, the Douglas fir, and talking about its resilience. And then we take a little stop to talk about the geology of the Columbia River Gorge.
The Oregon Parks and Recreation Department has participated in first day hikes since 2012. All right, headed over to Chris McGinnis for weather.
The gorge is one of the places I take anyone visiting from out of town, especially when the weather's a little nicer than it's been. Of course, the water now cascading over those cliff sides there with all the rain that we've had. Today, a gentle rain, but drippy nonetheless for the remainder of our Friday. Also a little milder. Yesterday was a really chilly day with the aforementioned gorge, the refrigerator door open, and the east wind kind of draining that cool air into the metro area. So yesterday was pretty chilly. Today we should tack on a good 10 to 12 degrees, a little less wind, but still cloudy and rainy. All right, tomorrow, Saturday, rainy, occasionally rainy, and also breezy. There's going to be a front that comes through late tomorrow night that could kick up the south wind a little bit, and I'll show you that with Futurecast in just a second. And then looking forward to Sunday and beyond, on and off wet in the 7-day forecast. Snow levels on Sunday drop down to about 4,000 feet, so anybody traveling over the Cascade Passes, it's rain there this morning. It will be rain there tomorrow, but by Sunday, I think we're looking at snow again. And there's also a pretty good indication that we could get a good shot of some Cascade snow in the middle of next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, into early Thursday. So we'll hope for that for the ski resorts. We sorely need some new fresh snow up there as well. All right, to tomorrow night's storm system. Now, 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts at the Oregon coast. That is run-of-the-mill breezy conditions for you folks. But as we go into the overnight hours and that front sweeps inland, models are suggesting that there could be some 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts in the valley as well. Again, nothing overly huge, but noticeable nonetheless as we go into the wee hours of Sunday morning. That's with a piece of energy that will come spiraling in from that system offshore. Like spokes around a wheel, there's little impulses and waves of rain where the rain will pick up and be a little more intense than at other times. And you'll see that reflected with Futurecast. In fact, one of those light bands of rain comes through later today. In between that and now will probably just be cloudy and drizzly. So that's what our Friday looks like. As we go into Saturday, again, waves of rain coming on through. This is late Saturday evening, 8, 9 o'clock. Our modeling suggesting there could even be possibly some heavier showers or maybe even some thunder along the Oregon coast tomorrow evening. And as that front sweeps inland, that'll coincide with a brief period of possibly some gusty south wind as well. That sweeps through overnight. We get another shot of rain on Sunday. You get the idea. As we mentioned, the weekend forecast is on and off pretty wet to the tune of maybe a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain cumulatively between Saturday and Sunday. Monday looks like a dry break where we may actually see some sun breaks And then that next system comes in Tuesday night and Wednesday, and that's the one that could actually produce some pretty good snow up in the Cascades. Below the Cascade passes and the ski resorts could pick up, if we're lucky, maybe 1 to 2 feet of snow in that time frame. All right, let's get you out the door with a look at the roads, and the roads not looking all that bad. In fact, the drive times are still in check this morning. As you can imagine, still very, very light volume on this 2nd of January. Folks probably still opting to take the day off. There's I-5 up near Lombard. Still some road spray out there, though, of course, from all the rain that we've had overnight and early this morning. That said, no major freeway trouble out there this morning. We're off to a good start, China.
Thank you, Chris. Coming up next, dozens killed and even more hurt after a fire breaks out in a popular ski resort during a New Year's celebration.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
President Trump is facing new questions about his health and recent medical tests. NBC's Bianca Ficini has the latest from Washington, D.C.
As questions and speculation grow, President Trump has consistently insisted his health has never been better.
I think I'm sharper than I was 25 years ago, but who the hell knows?
Now, in a new interview with the Wall Street Journal, the president is trying to quell those questions, explaining an MRI he had in October was actually a CAT scan. And as for those pictures of makeup covering bruises on his hands that went viral, the president blames taking high doses of aspirin daily to thin his blood for causing it, which initially started the rumors about his health. The president telling the Journal he's ignoring doctors' advice to lower the dose. Trump, who is 79 years old, will become the oldest president ever in office by the end of his term. But age, which he attacked former President Joe Biden on during the 2024 race, is just one of several challenges he'll face this year. There's the potential growing threat from Iran, where protesters have taken to the streets, sparked by an economic downturn in the country. The president, standing alongside Israel's prime minister earlier this week, endorsed a potential Israeli strike against Iran if the country tried to restart its missile program. In a social media post, Iran's president said any attack will be met with a, quote, harsh and regrettable response. As the new year begins, the domestic policy landscape is changing too, with new laws taking effect across the country. Many of them touch on issues that were a big part of the president's 2024 campaign. In North Carolina, a new law bans using state funds for gender transition surgery and permits lawsuits against medical providers. And in Texas, diversity and inclusion programs will be banned in public schools. In Washington, Bianca Ficini, NBC News.
Now to your morning rush. Grief and tragedy are opening the new year at high-end ski resort in Switzerland. Officials say about 40 people are dead and roughly 115 are injured after a fire. Authorities say it broke out in a bar during a New Year's celebration. They say they believe sparkling candles that got too close to the ceiling started the fire. President Trump postponed tariff hikes on upholstered furniture, kitchen cabinets, and vanities. He put them off for a year, hours before that they were set to be implemented. Most imported furniture comes from China and Vietnam. Tariffs on both items like cabinets and upholstered furniture have been at 25% since September. And many Federal Emergency Management Agency employees are starting the new year without jobs. They were notified on New Year's Eve via email that their positions would not be renewed. The impacted workers are part of FEMA's on-call response and recovery teams. A FEMA spokesperson pointed out the positions are term limited and fluctuate based on disaster activity, and that's your morning rush. 2025 saw the deployment of National Guard troops to cities across the U.S., including here in Portland. Ahead next half hour, what led up to the deployment and the aftermath of it. And a state-of-the-art market is inching closer to opening its doors. We give you a sneak peek inside.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm China Green. If visiting a national park is on your to-do list for the new year, there are some slight changes that you may want to be aware of. The America the Beautiful passes will now be available in a digital format. U.S. residents will continue to pay $80 for the annual pass. However, foreign tourists will pay $250 for the pass. There have also been some changes to the fee for free holidays, and they are only free for U.S. residents. Headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at weather.
China, we take you up to the Wells Fargo Tower, and you see anything? Me neither. The clouds are definitely have swallowed up the tippy tops of the downtown Portland buildings. It's 41 right now at the airport, by the way. We've been dealing with on and off rain, generally light rain this morning. At times the rain intensity picks up and then at times it shuts off altogether. But that's pretty much the way our day looks. Futurecast bears that out here with clouds and drippy conditions in between bands of rain that'll pass through the region from time to time today. Not terribly heavy, a few hundredths of an inch of rain in the forecast. Temperatures today warmer than yesterday. You probably will feel that with highs today getting into the lower 50s.
The new year is kicking off with a couple of big celestial events. The first is a wolf moon, which will grace the sky this weekend. The wolf moon is 2026's first supermoon, which is when a full moon is closer to Earth than normal and seems larger and brighter in the sky. The full moon's light will make it harder to see at the second event, a meteor shower. The meteor shower will reach peak activity Saturday evening. Astronomers say the shower will be active through January 16th. All right, so thank you for joining us. It is 8:30 on your Friday. Headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at weather.
And still drippy out there as we give you the live look from the spring to the waterfront on Vancouver's waterfront. You can see the interstate bridge there in the background and, well, kind of hard to see because there's so many raindrops on the camera lens out there this morning. 41 last check at Pearson Airfield. We'll slide to the south here. Our Wells Fargo sky camera up in the low cloud deck, so it's tough to see anything there, but 41 last check at PDX as well. That represents, by the way, our high temperature yesterday, which didn't come until midnight because the breeze was out of the gorge, allowing that cool air to filter into the region. Yesterday was a pretty raw day with the rain. Today will be a little warmer. 43 right now in Salem as that cloud cover is pretty low over the state capital as well. Radar right now continues to show green on the map. Plenty of widespread light rain, generally light. We've had some periods where the rain has been a little more, a little heavier, a little steadier, and then at other times where it shuts off. And that's pretty much what the rest of our Friday is going to look like. There probably will be some dry time from time to time, and also a band of maybe steadier showers passing through later this afternoon and this evening. Not much rain, though, on the order of maybe a few hundredths of an inch at the worst. Daytime highs today will be warmer than yesterday for sure in the low 50s. All right, drive times right now are in excellent shape. Obviously, very light freeway volume out there this morning. We're getting around just fine despite the rain. There's a live look at I-5 up near Lombard. The headlights there representing the southbound commute. We have been relatively unscathed on the freeways this morning. China, no major trouble just yet.
Thank you, Chris. On New Year's Eve, President Trump announced that he is dropping his push to deploy National Guard troops in U.S. cities like Portland. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz has a look at how we got here.
The back half of 2025 became a tense showdown between the federal government and state and local leaders here in Portland. Protests sparked in June and were in full swing at the ICE facility in South Portland in response to masked ICE agents arresting immigrants across the country. Thousands marched nationwide in No Kings protest against the Trump administration. That protest led to peaceful demonstrations at the ICE facility, though a small group decided to camp outside the building, where there were some clashes between protesters and federal agents.
I personally have been maced 6 times, pepperballed quite a few.
In August, Trump border czar Tom Homan threatened to send National Guard troops to Portland after an unannounced trip to the ICE facility. A month later, President Trump followed through, federalizing 200 Guard members, and frequently disparaged Portland as state leaders fired back.
You look at what's happened with Portland over the years, it's a burning hellhole.
We do not need or want federal troops in Oregon.
The troop authorization set off a flurry of legal battles, tying President Trump's plans up in court. All the while, National Guard members remained on standby. Eventually, a federal judge barred the Trump administration from deploying the troops. And days before Christmas, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against the Trump administration in a similar case in Chicago, leading President Trump to announce recently on social media that he was at least temporarily pausing plans to try to send National Guard members here in Portland. In downtown Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
The Federal Department of Health and Human Services has announced that it's freezing all federal child care payments to the state of Minnesota after alleged fraud claims. This comes in the wake of a viral video that claimed child care facilities across the state run by Somali immigrants weren't actually open to children, a claim that hasn't been verified or proven yet. Minnesota's governor pushed back, saying that the state has spent years cracking down on fraud and president is, quote, politicizing the issue to defund programs. Yeah, that investigation and the viral video is apparently sparking harassment in Washington state. Attorney General Nick Brown says daycares run by Somali people are being targeted by, quote, unsubstantiated claims of fraud. He says, quote, showing up on someone's porch, threatening or harassing them is an investigation. Neither is filming minors who may be in the home. This is unsafe and potentially dangerous behavior. Brown is encouraging daycares to report harassment to the police or his office. The Multnomah County DA says the 2022 murder of a Portland woman by her husband could have been prevented. This week, Mohammed Adan was sentenced to life in prison after he admitted to killing Rachel Abraham in front of their 3 young daughters. This is a case that we reported on extensively over the past few years. The DA's office says Adan had a documented history of domestic violence, but was released from jail with the help of an advocate group, the Portland Freedom Fund, which provides bail assistance for communities of color.
This never should have happened. Mohammed Adan should not have been out of custody. He should not have had the opportunity to hurt, to terrorize, to frighten, to intimidate, or to brutally murder Rachel Abraham.
The DA is now pushing for changes to bail laws to prevent things like this happening again. KGW has reached out to the Freedom Fund for comment but have not heard back. And if you or someone you know has experienced domestic violence, you can call the domestic violence hotline 24/7, 1-800-799-SAFE, or text the word START to 88788. If your New Year's resolution involves budgeting, you might want to take note of federal policy changes. They could affect your Social Security benefits, health care costs, and more. Amy Kiley has more.
It's a new year, and new federal changes that start today could affect Americans' wallets and lives. For some seniors, money could get a bit tighter. Social Security recipients are getting a 2.8% cost of living increase. The administration's earnings test, wage cap, and maximum benefit also are going up. But Medicare Part B premium costs are rising almost $18 a month. That's one of the largest increases in the program's history. Add inflation, and the net result could be in the red for some seniors. Meanwhile, millions of people on Obamacare are facing much steeper costs. Pandemic-era subsidies are gone as of today.
We're expecting that on average, premium payments are going to more than double.
This is the first regular tax season with changes in effect from a bill signed in July. They include higher standard and SALT deductions, as well as new breaks for seniors, car loan interest, tips, and overtime.
Those very important things, put more money in working class people's pockets.
A proclamation out yesterday delays tariff hikes on some furniture, kitchen cabinets, and vanities that were set to begin on New Year's Day. Finally, the president's travel ban is now expanded to 39 countries.
The American complaint is that these countries pose national security and public safety threats.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Monthly bills for Pacific Power customers are set to decrease in the new year. The average homeowner will see about a $1 drop per month. That's because of an adjustment in expected power source costs. More rate changes could be coming in April. Well, there's a unique vessel that you might notice floating in our local rivers. This is the Ebb and Ember floating sauna. It gives you the chance to relax in the heat of the sauna, then cycle out on the deck to take the cool winter air, or even a cold plunge in the river. It had its grand opening yesterday.
Want to pick up people from downtown Portland, downtown Vancouver, come down here, and then get out on the Columbia and explore our riverways, get on the Willamette.
The boat is docked in Northeast Portland, and you can book it and check out Ebb and Ember on Instagram for more information. Thousands of people gathered in Birch Bay, Washington, near the Canadian border to dive into icy waters for a massive polar plunge. The event aimed to break Norway's Guinness World Record for the largest polar plunge, which requires more than 3,000 participants. Organizers estimated there was 5,000 there, but they're still waiting for confirmation from Guinness. All right, your time now is 8:38. Headed over to Chris for a look at weather.
Hey, let's take you up to the east side of Mount Hood. This is actually the upper Hood River Valley, China, Highway 35 near Parkdale. Now that we've got the light of day, you might have a sense for kind of how the fir trees have been weighted down by some freezing rain up there. There still is a winter weather advisory for the upper Hood River Valley through about 10 o'clock this morning. Although as I've been checking the observations over the last 90 minutes or so, almost all of them are 32 or warmer in Hood River County, and specifically in and around the Parkdale area. So good idea that this will hit its expiration time at 10 o'clock this morning. But still, you can see that salmon color showing up on radar out there, indicating maybe some pockets of freezing rain ongoing right now. For the rest of us, it's just wet, on and off wet. That's been the case throughout the morning. And the rainfall that we get today, not terribly heavy, but enough to make the roads certainly wet for the morning commute, what little commute there is out there. It's 41 last check up at Pearson Airfield. The Wells Fargo building, of course, the tippy top of the building up at 550 feet. So this camera's kind of up in the low cloud deck. Usually we can see a beautiful shot of downtown Portland, but this morning it's kind of socked in with the clouds. It's 41 last check at PDX. And our state capital, we can see it, but the cloud deck is pretty low there as well. 43 last check in Salem. All right, we mentioned additional rainfall today. While today will be a cloudy, drippy, drizzly, occasionally rainy day, the rain that falls will be very, very light, on the order of a few hundredths to maybe a tenth of an inch across the region at worst. But nonetheless, a cloudy, drippy day, and Futurecast bears that out with periods of dry time and occasionally wet time, and then drippy and drizzly in between the rain showers. Okay, the other thing you'll notice today is that the temperatures are going to be warmer. Yesterday we had that east breeze out of the gorge that kept us quite cool. Portland didn't get to 41 degrees until almost midnight last night. Today we should climb into the lower 50s, eventually mid 50s at the coast, and even the chilly spots like out towards the central gorge, which have been socked in with occasional freezing rain late last night and early this morning. Hood River, 44 might be a stretch, but 40 certainly seems within reason. Down on the valley floor, down on along the Columbia River itself. Meet Chunk and Turbo. Chunk and Turbo are today's pets, plural, pets of the day. If you want to get a shout out to your favorite four-legged friend, use that email address, petoftheday@kgw.com. You do that, and we'll give you the shout out. And now I bring you the 7-day forecast. It is wet tomorrow, breezy as well, a little breezy overnight Saturday into Sunday. And then Sunday itself, rainy. We get a break in the action Monday, and then the next significant weather system comes in Tuesday and Wednesday. This one could bring us some pretty good Cascade snow. I know the skiers and boarders are hoping for some fresh snow on the slopes, and that one should bring it. All right, let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. Again, the road's not in too bad a shape this morning. We are in okay shape, and we will look at those coming up in just a minute. China back.
A downtown market is on its way to open again. After the break, how local leaders are restoring the James Beard Public Market.
Hey, I've tested a lot of pillow massagers over the years. This is far and away the best, so I wanted to tell you about it. It's this one right here. It's the ComWrap Pillow Memory Foam Massager. It's designed to give you a professional grade massage wherever you are, literally. I'm obsessed with this thing. My wife sits on the couch with this for hours. I think I stress her out, but we'll get to that later. So come on in. This is what makes it so amazing. Dual two-way rotating massage heads, and they actually switch direction every minute to give you a balanced massage. Releases knots, improves circulation, melts away stiffness. And the other great thing about this, you just hit a button and the heat turns on within 3 seconds. You can also change intensity levels with this button right here, so you can do a softer daytime massage, or if you need something stronger at night for the athlete in your house, or if you've had a tough day, you can get a stronger, deeper massage as well. What also makes this so great, it's lightweight and compact, perfect to take on a plane, in the car, in the office. You can use it on your neck, your shoulders, back, waist, even your calves and feet. Wherever you need it, it's ready to go. It's also really comfortable, made of high density memory foam, so it conforms right to your body. We have an amazing deal on this for you today. Normally, this is $76.99. Good price? No. For you, an exclusive deal, 60% off. That's huge. Only $29.99. How do you not get this? Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
For decades, city and state leaders have tried to bring a public market back to downtown Portland, and now a new state-of-the-art market on Southwest 6th and Alder may not be far away. Thomas Schultz has the story.
We've all heard the saying, out with the old, in with the new. But what if the old is irreplaceable?
Everything has been demoed over the last few months, revealing this beautiful kind of open space.
Jessica Elkin is the executive director of the James Beard Public Market. She says over the next couple of years, this building, framed with old-growth Oregon timber, will be restored into a 3-story market, flush with 38 vendors.
We have everything from an egg vendor, a butcher, a fishmonger, a full production bakery.
To become the James Beard Public Market.
It's a place where you can come and do your daily shopping, or it's a place you can gather with friends.
It's something Portland has lacked since 1941, when the last public market closed down. Now Elkin says it's time to bring it back.
It's the right time.
The idea is this will not only be a hotspot for tourists, but a place where locals shop routinely, revitalizing downtown and spurring growth.
We're creating a civic landmark.
A downtown landmark in a building ready for a renewed purpose.
Portland doesn't want a public market. We need a public market.
In downtown Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
And project leaders say that the first markets could open by the end of 2026. They're hopeful that the market will be in full swing by 2027. Less than 2 weeks after announcing it planned to close its Old Town location, Deadstock Coffee says it's found a new space inside the nearby Hoxton Hotel. The sneaker-themed coffee shop opened a decade ago on Northwest Cooch and 4th. The opening of its new location is set for sometime in March. All right, headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at weather.
Hey, the first weekend of the new year is here. It's weird with the holiday on a Wednesday or a Thursday, right? You're like, what Friday? Yeah, okay. For those of us that have to work today, it's a little drippy and drizzly for your morning commute, and it will remain so throughout the day today. Occasionally rainy with a lot of cloud cover as well. All right, the weekend forecast, rainy and a little breezy tomorrow night, specifically overnight. I'll look at that with Futurecast in just a second, and rainy into the day on Sunday and beyond. Also wanted to note that while snow levels today and tomorrow are pretty high above the Cascade Passes, those snow levels lower to about 4,000 feet Sunday afternoon. So anyone traveling to or from Central Oregon, maybe after your long weekend or your holiday or whatnot, be prepared that there could be some snow in the Cascade Passes tomorrow night specifically. And then another shot, I think, of some really good snow in the Cascades coming our way Tuesday and Wednesday. We surely need some fresh snow up at the ski resorts. We're going to get some, I think, a little bit on Sunday night and Monday, but much more on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Okay, that's beyond. Here's what's going on right now. Of course, drippy and drizzly out there this morning. Here's the storm system that's driving all this weather here. It's spiraling off the northwest coast here. A nice little plume of moisture, which thankfully will not be taking direct aim on us today. But we'll tap into some of that tomorrow and also get a little bit of a south wind gust that ratchets up tomorrow. Now, wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour at the beach. There's nothing out of the ordinary about that on any given, January day. But as we roll into the afternoon and evening and that system comes ashore, Futurecast does peg possibly some 25 or 30 mile an hour wind gusts across portions of the Willamette Valley. Again, nothing enormously to write home about, but you may notice it overnight tomorrow night and into the early part of the day on Sunday. In addition to that, of course, we're going to have rounds of some steadier, heavier rain than what we're experiencing today. Today, lots of clouds, on and off wet. Tomorrow during the day, a few rounds of rain in the morning, a few rounds of rain in the afternoon. And this one that comes through in the evening, you see the yellows and oranges on the map. That's indicative of some heavier rain, especially the Oregon coast. And that sweeps on through the wee hours of Sunday morning, along with the gusty wind. The second piece of energy that comes ashore later during the day on Sunday will eventually lower snow levels such that I think the Cascades will get some snow down in the passes Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. So once again, that's a time frame that if you're traveling, you need to be aware of that to and from Central Oregon. We get a break in the action on Monday. We're kind of in between systems then. And then the next more potent, colder system comes in Tuesday and Wednesday. And this is the one that I think brings the Cascade ski resorts and the Cascade passes some pretty substantial snow in the middle part of next week. Of course, that'll be rain down here for the rest of us. All right, let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. And again, they are, as they have been all morning long, wet. Not terribly wet, but wet enough. Certainly need the windshield wipers out there this morning. I-5 up near Lombard still zipping right along. Here's a look at your drive times coming in from the west side. 13 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough, from Brookwood Parkway to I-405. So that's still a speed limit clip. And over on the east side, that's a quick look at Interstate 84, the Vanfield out near 82nd Avenue. The headlights in that shot, the westbound drive coming in from I-205. China, happy to report, as has been the case all morning long, no major freeway trouble out there right now.
Thank you, Chris. We have some birthdays to celebrate today, starting off with Lennon, who is turning 2 years old. And then we have Marley turning 10 today. We have Tomas celebrating his 30th birthday. David from Hillsborough turning 37. And then last but not least, we have Chris on the right there turning 40. If you have a birthday you want us to shout out here, send an email to birthdays@kgw.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
In a wrap of our top stories this morning, Portland police have identified the person accused of stabbing someone in a southeast Portland Safeway. Portland police say around 10 a.m. yesterday morning, 51-year-old Christopher Woods stabbed and robbed a 77-year-old man in the bathroom of a Safeway store on 122nd. The victim was taken to the hospital. Their current condition is unknown. Woods is facing felony assault and robbery charges. Monthly bills for Pacific Power customers are set to decrease in the new year. The average homeowner will see about a $1 drop per month. That's because of an adjustment in expected power source costs. More rate changes could be coming in April. And the celebrations were top tier after a historic victory for the Oregon Ducks in their first ever Orange Bowl. The 5th-seeded Oregon defeated number 4 Texas Tech 23-0. The Ducks are headed to Atlanta next Friday for the Peach Bowl, the semifinal in the college football playoff.
All right, our Friday, January 2nd, highlighted with lots of clouds, rain, occasional rain, generally light rain, but rain nonetheless, with highs today getting a little warmer than yesterday. Yesterday, we only hit 41 degrees, and that was at midnight. Today, we should eventually climb into lower 50s. On and off wet and a little breezy on Saturday and Sunday, with highs remaining in the 50s, and then we get a little break in the action on Monday. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. The roads, as we have mentioned throughout the morning, have not been all that bad. Traffic volume really, really light, but we have had plenty of water to deal with out there, as in rain, so windshield wipers definitely going this morning. Your I-5 and your I-205 commute over the Glen Jackson Bridge still in pretty good shape. A quick check out near the Parkdale area. That's the upper left-hand part of your screen. We have had some freezing rain in parts of the upper Hood River Valley. I think if you look closely, you can see some of those evergreen trees being weighed down a little bit by some of the ice there. China, temperatures there should be rising above freezing as we go through our Friday morning.
Thank you, Chris. One last story to get to. The Vancouver Police Department is starting off the new year by adding a new team member to its team. On your screen there is K9 Loki. The 2-year-old German Shepherd from Norway is joining Vancouver Police Officer Corey Rose. The pair just finished 600 hours of training and is dual certified in patrol and narcotics detection. Well, a reminder that you can watch Sunrise every day live exclusively here on KGW Plus starting at 7 o'clock. We also have added another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 right here on Plus. Have a great weekend.